Ladies and gentlemen, in order to tell you about the changing perspectives on the old age dependency, we will start with some statistical perspectives. So I would like to say that at this moment, we have almost 10 million of seniors, of people at the age of 60 in Poland, but very soon in 2060, it will be almost 12 million of senior citizens. According to this table, you can see that nowadays the population of older people mainly consists of younger seniors, and those at the age of 80 and more are more than 16% of senior population, but soon, according to the forecast, in 2060, people aged 80 and over will make up more than 30% of the elder population. Why I drew your attention to this fact? It's because I would like to try to answer the question, when does old age start? So I would like to mention about the division of the aging population, elderly population, for two groups. The first group is the third age people, and this group is characterized by activity. We could say that those people can enjoy the benefits of their retired life, so they perform almost all daily activities without any help of other peoples. On the other hand, we have peoples in their fourth age whose independence and ability to take care of themselves is very impaired. And according to the literature, the boundary between this third and fourth age is located at the age of 80. So this is why it will be a very huge challenge, according to the Polish population, when this group of people at the age of 80 will be so big.
And in Poland, we still have a domination of informal model of care for the elderly people. And although there is no legal obligation to care for an elderly or online person, besides the duty of alimony to parents living in poverty, there is still a strong moral expectation from adult offsprings to become caregivers for elderly parents. The Polish Senior Study shows that the care for dependent people in Poland is provided by the family in over 90% of cases. And in Polish society, informal support is primarily delivered by women. And it is said that adult daughters form the basic form of social capital for the elderly people, and therefore the childless elderly find themselves in a very difficult situation. And demand for help rises with age, with a significant increase in the percentage of those definitely in need for support observed from the age of 80. It is among the people in so-called fourth age. And it is worth to mention that research shows a slight decline over time in the role of the family as a provider of help for the elderly. A significant proportion of older people live alone. According to Polish Senior Study, every fifth elderly person lives independently, but the share of this group varies depending on gender, age, and place of residence. And seniors in Poland experience various forms of housing deprivation, and the most important housing problem experienced by the elderly are associated with maintenance issues, accessibility, home adaptation or home safety, and access to services. And the scope of perceived barriers in the living environment increases with age. Poor housing conditions and architectural barriers in the house or in the surrounding increase seniors' dependency, but also make it difficult to care for an elderly in his/her place of residence. There's a huge demand in Polish society for making environment more accessible and more adaptable to seniors' needs, and the policy of universal design constitutes a response to these diverse needs of aging population. And the underlying idea is that universally designed environment is better and safer for everyone, not only for the vulnerable social categories. And since 2080s, the principles of universal design are being implemented in Polish society under the government Accessibility Plus program for the years 2080-2025. And the most important legal acts were enacted in the year 2019, and they enforced increased accessibility in public institutions. But we are still at the beginning of the journey. We still have many problems, especially with transportation, but also with public spaces and private housing as well.
Yeah, and we think that the last solution that might be adopted when we are talking about people who need a care is a nursing home. According to the Social Welfare Act, a person who is unable to function independently in the daily life is entitled to be placed in this kind of social welfare home. But according to statistics, we still don't have enough places. On average, there are 74 people aged 60 plus per one place in this kind of institution. And when we are talking about the structure of residents of this kind of social welfare facilities aged 60 plus, in most cases there are people in their fourth age, according to this graph. But also from our perspective, and it's also a result from my research, the perception of a nursing home in Poland is changing. It's the beginning, but I think that we can see some change. Here are the basic information about my research that I have conducted in 2022 between people from 4 generations. I conducted 64 interviews with the representatives of this generation. It was done at the northeastern part of Poland. It's Podlaskie province. And according on my research, I could say that in Polish society, there is still a belief that an elderly person who is in need of care should be taken care of the family. So very close people, children should take care of an older person. However, the use of specialized institutions such as nursing home is also becoming more common. And it was very surprising for me that very positive opinions about this kind of institutions were expressed by the oldest generation that took part in my research. For example, men of the traditionalist generation say that spending old age in a nursing home is a good solution. And the ambiguous position of the baby boomers generation, there were different voices, but they were more voices of consent than opposition to spending old age in a nursing home. Younger generations, X and Y, they were more ambivalent in their opinions. They told me that it will be a very difficult decision to send their parents or grandparents to this kind of institution, but sometimes there might be no other option. And also they mentioned that it will be difficult because they have very close relations, especially Generation Y, with their grandparents, and they can imagine their parents or grandparents in this kind of institution.
And to sum up, the majority of elderly in Poland want to stay in very local environment as long as possible. The informal family care for the elderly still plays the most significant role in the Polish society.
Yeah, and also when we are talking about this informal care, from our perspective, it's necessary to update or reinvent the model of informal care, because of the first reason is that a slow decline in the ability of family care resources, but on the other hand also from our perspective, future generations of seniors will be more healthier. Nowadays, seniors do a lot in order to take care of their health. So we think that the model of informal care should change or be updated. And also, the last sentence, when we want to create the Polish society that will give conditions for successful and healthy aging of population, the implementation of principles of universal design and ability, the access to institutional care should be higher. Thank you for your attention.
Okay.